Hey guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to make one of these dice trays. It's also a giveaway video and you can win Blood Oath, Royal Keep, or Elderwood. There are 3 ways to enter. Comment below with the name of your favorite tray. Comment and tag 2 friends on our Instagram post for an additional entry, and retweet this tweet for a 3rd entry. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for your D&D live plays, board game how-tos, and tabletop DIY projects. And here's me from the past. Howdy y'all, Ironclaw here, about to show you how to make a custom handmade dice tray. It's very easy to make, but it will require a decent amount of tools. Here we go. You need a table saw with a 1x8 board for the trays, a speed square, a pencil, a measure tape, chop saw. I got two sanders, a small one for the corners, a random orbital, drill bits with the drill, a jigsaw, and a router with a router guide. It's actually a circle/edge guide. First, we measure 12 inches. Go ahead and mark that right there. Take your speed square. Should probably have a carpenter's pencil, not this mechanical pencil. Then you take it over to the chop saw, chop chop. Line your line up. Sometimes if it doesn't go through, if you don't have those really cool chop saws, flip it over. What I like to do is wait till it fits down in the hole like that. There you go. I'm going to show you how to do the card holder slots. Make sure they're at an angle like this. They're going to be on the top of your tray, so you want them to angle back away from you. And I'll do my first cut at 6 7/8. You make sure it's 6 7/8 there, and then also double check, make sure. And your height is going to be at 1/4 inch, and make sure your angle is at 10 degrees. And we'll go ahead and cut this one. Next one is going to be at 6 1/2 inches. So we'll go back a bit to 6 1/2. Make sure it's straight. Make sure it's 6 1/2. About, yep. Custom. Small dice holes. What you do here is take your measuring tape, you put the little notch down in the bottom hole, and then you measure. We're going to do 1 1/4, we're going to do 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. I'll go ahead and mark those really quick, and then I'll show you. Make sure you do a long line too, because you want that for both rows of dice. Okay, after you get that, you want to take your measuring tape and measure this way. You measure 3/4 and make a line, and also at 1 7/8 for the second line of dice. And we go ahead and mark those. But you can also take, if you have a piece of scrap, a 1 by anything, it's 3/4 inches exactly. So you just take that just like this. Make sure you're flush on this side. You take it, and you got your line. That wasn't straight, but you get it. Make that one darker. There we go. And then the next one is at the 1 7/8 spot. Go ahead and mark that. Now you're going to drill one hole here, one hole here, one hole here, 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 here. And then this one, measure the center of this, which is, what were we saying that was? Let's see. 1 5/16.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or just eyeball it right in the center. We'll go ahead and drill those real quick. And we use a 3/4 inch drill bit. And when you drill down, I'll show you after I drill the first one. Once you get it kind of flush like that, that's probably a good depth for all of them. And you make sure the point is right on where those lines cross. Alright, I'm going to show you how to make the two big component compartments. They're for any board game. You just put the different components in. First, before we get to that, I'm going to take my board, and anytime you see me using this, it's 3/4 inch thickness. So you could just measure 3/4 up from here, and we're going to mark a line. Make sure it's flush. Go ahead and mark from about here and all the way across. And the same thing with this side. Make sure it's flush and mark a line. And then we're going to take our speed square and we're going to look at the top of this hole, and we're going to try and make a line that's perfectly at the top of the same hole right here. So we're going to kind of eyeball it about right there, and drill that, draw that, flip it over, continue the line all the way across. Alright, and then once you get that, I take this and I use my fingers to kind of make sure it's all flush with these circles here, and then I'll make a line across that entire thing. Or you can also measure, this would be 3 inches exactly from that. A little more than a 3, but 3 would be fine. And then once you get that, go ahead and drill these. What you want to do, if you want to try and get the camera like on top, like up here, see it, make sure your lines are hugging this part of the drill bit and the top bit, and then that will be the guide for your drill. Set your drill to drill. And there's your compartments. We're going to make them a little deeper, but I forget the depth that we used for that. It looks like 3/8 on the depth. So just keep drilling down until it's 3/8 deep. All right, here we go with the dice tray. First, you take your measuring tape and we are gonna do 5 3/4 inch. You make a mark right there. Or if you have your trusty thing, your board, scrap board, you can go ahead and make sure it's nice and smooth right there. Go ahead and make your mark. Be right there, right where I put that mark. And once you got that, you take your drill and go ahead, do the same thing you did here, but we'll put one, here, I'll go ahead and show you. We'll put one hole right here, one hole here, one hole here, and one hole here. Make sure you line them up again. All the drilling you need to do. Next, we're doing the pencil holder. Mine, I stopped right here, but we're going to show you how to do it all the way to the edge here. And we're going to do this before we cut this out with the jigsaw, because the router needs to guide or glide on top of this. So first, you make sure the depth is at 3/16 inches. And then you make sure your circle guide or your edge guide is at 6 5/8. And then once you got that, you're ready to go. I'm going to do this on the floor too, so I can kind of hold it with in place with my knee. This is a little awkward. Make sure you don't cut the cord. Okay, I like to start at the farthest end. I'm going to show you first. The pencil marks that you did earlier, right here, is going to be the start of the pencil guide. So we press it down here, we're going to glide all the way over here to your other pencil mark that you marked over here. And that's going to be our markings for that. Okay, so here we go. But now, what we do is, I'm going to show you, get a pencil real quick and show you. We are going to cut this out, this out, this out, and this out. Do not cut these. I did that once and went all the way. I had to put putty and fix it, but just these 4 cuts and that's it. Make sure you hang it off the table and just get your jigsaw and go to town. Cleaning this up too with the jigsaw and sanding and all that. but there it is for the most part. Last thing to do board wise is sand it all up. And here we go. Well, first we start off with, we got P150 grit right now, and then we'll finish it off with P220. You can go any way you want with that. You also want to take a small piece of sandpaper, a little tiny piece, fold a little tiny piece around your finger or something, and try and sand this a little bit just so the stain and everything takes a little better. Smooth all that, the splinters out and all that, and also on the big one. And in here, and also if you fold a piece right in half, it fits perfectly down in there. And I just take it like a credit card and swipe just a few times in each hole, and that's it. Alright, now that the board's finished, it's ready for stain. We're going to use a classic gray stain. Make sure you shake it up and stir it real well before you start, and use a lint-free rag, and make sure you have gloves on. I would recommend gloves on both hands, but I only had one glove. Here we go. And then you just dip it in and rub it on. Rub it on and rub it off. Now that the stain's done, once it's dry, you're ready to poly. You can do, I have wipe-on poly. It comes in a tin can. You can do brush-on poly, or I got this spray-on lacquer, Rust-Oleum. It's super cheap. And you just spray about a foot away. So make sure you have your mask on. After your board is 100% done, you'll want to put the felt on, and you want to get the more firm felt. If you can see, it won't flop like normal felt. Nice and sturdy, because it's going to be on the bottom of the tray. And we picked the blue, so we'll go ahead and measure that up. Go ahead and cut that. Now you can take your measuring tape and measure it exactly, or you can kind of eyeball it. It's nice to have this razor blade pizza cutter and a mat and a straight edge. And once that's cut, you can measure the other way. After you have your felt all cut and measured out, you want to glue it to the bottom. You could use the craft glue or regular school glue, but I'm not sure how well that would hold up. I wouldn't recommend using that. I would recommend using wood glue. And once you want to spread it out as evenly as you can with your finger, a napkin, or I have this nice little be the circles. Now that your fabric back is glued on, now is the time to cut out the circles. We're going to use our Cricut cutter. If you don't have a Cricut cutter, you can use you can trace out the 3/4 inch and the 2-inch holes and cut them out with scissors and glue them in. Here we go. Once your circles are cut out, you're ready to glue them. You just want to take any kind of glue for this, because once they're down in there, they're staying down in there anyway. So school glue, craft glue. There you go, there's your dice tray.
D and DIY, D and DIY, D and DIY, D and DIY.